Welcome back to Just Speech. This is episode 12 with Dr. Christopher Gurrie. Dr. Gurrie, what will we be talking about today?
I thought we would talk about So You've Been Assigned a Group Presentation.
Everybody's favorite.
Everyone's worst nightmare is the group presentation. I don't know what it is, but everyone thinks that students love group presentations, and every group comes into my office to complain about their group members. But that's not what we're going to talk about. It's for the bar. Instead, what I thought we would talk about is where to stand and what to do during a group presentation. No one ever tells the students where they should be when their team is presenting, unless they have a really astute instructor. And so I thought we could talk about that. So you've been assigned a group presentation. The usual goes on. Let's say it's marketing, let's say it's management class, let's say it's speech class, comm class. And you know you have a 10, 15-minute presentation on a marketing campaign. And what you have to do is your group of 5 or 3 has to present what it worked on, what the report showed, and what the actual outcomes were to the entire group for 10, 15, 20 minutes. So you do the usual, right? You're going to do a PowerPoint, you do this slide, I'll be in charge of the introduction, you divvy up the workload, right? The problem is no one ever actually tells students where they need to be or what they need to do when the actual presentation comes to fruition. And what I see in my experience of 10 years is that during a group project, all the students will stand up at the front uncomfortably, standing like this, which is what I call the fig leaf. And it's awkward because you don't know what to do with your limbs and you don't know how to stand, and everyone stands because they know they're on, but they don't know where to be. And so one person's clicking through slides while you're all standing awkwardly off to the side. Don't do that! Don't do that. Instead, let the context dictate how you give your presentation. So if you're in a classroom setting, take control of that classroom. Take that first table or those first desks and have your teammates sit in those desks. Whoever's presenting, she should be up. And now I'd like to turn it over to my colleague Steve. Steve's going to tell you about the marketing plan. You change places with your colleagues. Steve gets up. You take Steve's spot. You slide back in over to where all the colleagues are sitting. Any conference you go to, sales presentations, any sort of marketing pitch, any sort of panel discussion, all of the colleagues will be seated at some sort of side table or chairs while one is presenting. Or if you're team presenting and you're both speaking, then you should both be standing. But it's really awkward when everyone's standing and you're only watching one person speak. But no one's ever given the students permission to sit. So I'm telling you to sit, take control of that room. You make your group the stars when it comes to that presentation. No one's ever told anybody this. So that's what I want to talk about when it comes to group presentations and where you should stand. You should also, and as a last thought, rehearse. You should at least dance through your presentation, walk through the slide changes, all those transition slides if you use PowerPoint, or knowing who has what before you actually go on. That will reduce your nervousness, as we saw earlier, and it'll make you more energized and excited to give your presentation because you'll know what's coming and you'll know how to finish it off.
All right, so now we know where to stand in those group presentations.
Awkward group presentations. Just take control of that room, make it work, and if you're nervous in the least bit about your grade, just ask your professor. She will more than likely tell you, oh my gosh, it'll be a nice change to what she's seen in the past.
All right, so join us next time on Just Speech.